Here in the pizza shop, we used to handwrite every ticket for an order that came in over the phone. There was a bit of a standard to it, but as you can see, they're not exactly the same. And this led to confusion and mix-ups, and reading them was just kind of annoying. Writing them was even more annoying. I got tired of this, so I decided to fix it with software. Now, back before I started down this rabbit hole, I didn't really know too much about programming or software development, so I decided to watch a whole bunch of YouTube to get a lay of the land and see how I would even go about doing this. And I came to the conclusion that I would be writing a web app in Svelte. So after going through the Svelte tutorial, just enough to be able to put a button on the screen and make it do something, I decided, all right, it's time to make the order pad. Designing this order pad was the first time I understood how nice you could make something if you were designing it for a very specific use instead of a more general case. For example, when somebody calls up, they'll usually tell you what kind of pizza they want without telling you the size that they want. That's okay when you're handwriting the tickets because you can just leave a little space. If we try to do it with more general restaurant software, it's either going to have to be you have one button for a large pizza, one button for a family pizza of each type, or you're going to have to pick the type of pizza and then go into a menu somewhere to give it a size, but not on the order pad. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring.
Yes, can I get a barbecue chicken pizza, a hair and cheese pizza, as well as a sofrito pizza?
Yeah, sure thing. What size would those be?
Yeah, can I get the old family size, please?
Sure thing. And it works in reverse too? And for chicken wings? But coming up with the specific automations that would work well in our system here wasn't the hard part. The hard part was actually making it. It runs on this old computer that I got from a guy named Steve for 40 bucks out of his warehouse. And to get it running on there, I had to figure out a whole bunch of stuff about Linux, SSH, what a node server was, and how to make it restart itself when the power goes out. And combining all that with a bit of sloppy Svelte code, I got myself some working software. The first time that I had the thermal printer printing out a little test print, I was over the moon. It was fantastic. I thought I could just do anything. I can make anything do anything. And that really inspired me to keep learning and understanding and improving this little tablet here. And then once we replaced the handwritten tickets with my nice tickets here, I got to thinking, what if all of the tickets looked like this? What if we had ticket unity? Before we get too deep in, let me explain to you how an order flows through the system. Every order comes in through one of 4 channels. We have orders over the phone, handwritten tickets, walk-in orders, Square tickets, Uber Eats orders, Uber tickets, and orders from the online ordering platform, Cloud tickets. When an order comes in, the pizzas are stretched, topped, and put in the oven. While they're in the oven, you yell to someone in the back to make some chicken wings if you need them. Hopefully they make them. When the pizzas come out, they're cut, put in the warmer to keep them hot until they're picked up, hopefully with chicken wings alongside them. Then when someone comes to pick them up, if they're already paid for, you just hand them over. But if it's not paid for, you have to bring the ticket over to the Square register, punch the whole thing in again, then they can pay for it. I'll refer to this as the double entry problem. For now, we'll focus on replacing each ticket with my version. We've already done the handwritten tickets, so we can cross those off the list. Now we'll work on the Square tickets. So the Square tickets aren't too bad. They look pretty nice, but if there's 2 of an item on an order, it doesn't print them separately. It does a little 2x, and that can lead to missing that thing, right? If you're just used to reading line by line. And it also can't handle a half and half pizza for shit. But besides that, and you have to write the time that it's due on it after it prints. It doesn't handle that. But besides that, it's not that bad of an order ticket. But it does bring us to a fundamental problem with the Square system, the double entry problem. At best, this is annoying, but at worst, on a busy Friday night with a pizza with add-ons, vegan cheese, gluten-free, it's going to slow you down. As far as I could tell, there is no way to fix this with Square. I looked into all the menus. I read the Square developer API docs. I couldn't see a way forward. So this is my point of sale system. It's a ground-up rewrite of the order pad in Svelte 5 with additional capabilities of being able to process payments with the Stripe API and the Stripe terminal here, as well as storing the orders persistently in a Postgres database. It was a big improvement over the previous order pad because orders aren't simply forgotten once they're printed. I learned a lot making this one, and the structure of the code improved a lot compared to my first try. I had to learn a lot more about error handling, the relationship between the client and the server, what data should go where, and generally how to make this thing more robust. Because you can't have the system going down in the middle of the night or God forbid, during a payment. And so far, so good. The only time that it has actually ever gone down was because the tablet ran out of charge and we couldn't find the right charger. But the square is still there as a backup. So how does this solve the double entry problem? Every ticket now prints with a barcode. So when it's time to pay, you just scan it, hit pay, and you're good to go. No double entry. The cloud tickets weren't too hard to solve because they expose an order notification webhook. That basically is like a push notification for servers. So whenever an order is placed on their system, my server gets a notification with the details of that order. This made it pretty easy to just take that every time an order came in, stick it in my database with a little conversion in between. There were some weird things in there though, like the Supreme Pizza and the barbecue chicken pizza both had a space afterwards, and I wasn't prepared for that, so we sorted that out and we're fine. So after a couple of nights of printing both of the tickets, checking for any errors, and fixing anything that went wrong, I feel pretty confident in turning theirs off and just running with mine. The final boss. The only thing standing between me and Ticket Unity, the Uber Eats API. So Uber Eats has order notification webhooks like the cloud one, but they were not nearly as easy to set up. For the cloud ones, you just sign into the dashboard, tell it where you want the webhook sent, and you're done. For Uber Eats, how hard could it be? First, you need an Uber developer account, and that's different from your Uber merchant account, which is the one we're using to sell the pizzas. Then with that account, you create an application that will integrate with your store. For this application to actually do anything, it needs to be granted various scopes. And to get these scopes, you need written approval from Uber. So a few emails with the support later, my application has the right scopes. Now it needs to have the store provisioned to the app. To do that, first we need to get a merchant token, exchange the merchant token for another token, and use that token to provision the store to the app. So I'm like 90% sure I did everything right. I followed the steps. I read the documentation. I went through it time after time. I even got the Australian store provisioned. So I think that it must be some weird thing because we have an older store that got left behind in some update. My shit's fucked. After a couple of emails back and forth with the support team, they got it sorted out, and we finally have our store provisioned. From there, it was a similar process to the cloud tickets, just printing both of them for a couple of nights, checking for any errors, and gradually fixing them. And suddenly, we have Ticket Unity. All that trouble just to get a couple of tickets to look a bit nicer? No, no, no. Ticket Unity is not just about nice-looking tickets. You have to consider the implications of Ticket Unity. With all the orders in one database I control, I can do whatever I want to them. The possibilities are endless. You could have just a running count of how many pizzas have been ordered that night. You could work out the current rate of pizza production per hour. With that, you could determine your maximum pizza throughput and see if you're anywhere close to it. We get much better data about what items are sold and which modifiers they're sold with. So we can use that to calculate how much ingredients we would expect to have sold that night, compare it with the inventory to see if there's any food waste or portion problems. We could keep track of when an order is ready versus when it was due, and to see the proportion of late orders and by how late they were. And we can use that information to tune a system that could determine the suggested time based on all the orders and your expected pizza throughput. I could go on for a while about this, but I'll show you the two things that I've already made and we have set up right now. All the tickets have barcodes, not just the ones that need to be paid for. All the cloud and Uber orders are always going to be all prepaid. So why do they have barcodes? Well, we can use the barcodes for more than just that. This is the oven ready scanner. It's a small change to how the ticket flow works to track when the orders are in the oven and then when they're ready. Now, when you finish making the pizzas and put the ticket over here, you give it a little scan. This marks the order as in the oven. When they come out, before you put them in the warmer, give it another little scan. This marks the order as ready. You could build a lot off of these two data points alone. But to start, we're just going to pop them up onto the side of the point of sale tablet so that when someone comes in, you don't have to go find their ticket. You can just see, oh, this one's ready, here you go. Or this one's in the oven, it'll be about 5 minutes. Or, oh, this one's ready, but you still have to pay for it. There you go. So what about the chicken wings? Do we still have to yell to the back and just hope they're going to be ready? No. That's where this guy comes in. He's the wing commander. No longer do we have to go around and count each individual ticket for chicken wings just to know how many are ordered. The wing commander knows exactly how many are ordered because of, say it with me, Ticket Unity. So he's doing a few things for us. First, he's counting up all the chicken wings that have been ordered during the night. Then he'll check how many you have compared to how many are ordered. And if you need more chicken wings down, he'll let you know. This will make sure that you're never caught off guard when someone comes in to pick up their order and you don't have any chicken wings. Chicken wings take 14 minutes to cook, and you don't want somebody waiting 14 minutes after their pizzas are ready. And so when an order with chicken wings comes in, the wing commander tells you you got some chicken wings to put down. You tell it how many you're putting down, it starts a 14-minute timer, and it'll let you know when they're done. That's great. But we're still going to have to yell into the back when we need them sauced up to serve, right? No. That's where his sidekick, the wing board, comes in. Whenever a ticket with wings is scanned and marked as in the oven, it'll also pop those wings up onto the wing board. And then once you've made the wings, the wing board tells the wing commander, okay, you've got this many less wings and you've got this many less wings ordered. So everything stays balanced and accounted for, and the wings are ready on time every time. I've got so many ideas on how to make this better. We could take over with our own online ordering platform, have it better integrated with the order timing, stock levels, special deals. We could build out the coupon and loyalty system and have coupons emailed out to newsletter subscribers. We could extend it to the back for better inventory management and food cost control. Inbuilt tutorials for new staff. The garlic bread counter. The dough math machine. A scale that tells you exactly how to make a pizza. Custom smart watches for everyone. Machine learning cameras to signal when the toppings are speed running for pizza makers. The all-seeing oven eye. The possibilities are endless. Learning how to do all of this really made me feel like I had some kind of a superpower. It also led me to noticing terrible software everywhere. And every time I see it, I have to talk myself out of making a nice version that's just for me, because I would get nothing else done ever. But every now and then, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be nice. So if there's something out there that you want, maybe it's time to build it.